Hello everyone, I am the Stuttering Gamer, and for this one I am going to talk about a console that I just recently got, literally a few days ago. Was really not going to be a part of this whole series, but it is now. One of my local game stores was going out of business, and before he did, he said, "Hey, I got a Jaguar if you want it." I'm like, how much you want for it? He goes, probably 79. Like, yeah, I'll think about it. Came back the last day that he was open, and he goes, I wouldn't sell anything less than 59. It's like, I'll take it. And probably the reason why I took it most is because it's in really nice shape. I mean, the console itself looks like it was hardly used, which I probably wouldn't blame them, whoever owned it. But yeah, this is a console, like I said, I never really thought I'd ever own, but I don't know, kind of just fell into my lap. Not really fell, more coerced. But yeah, I mean, it was released in '93. Interesting console. Atari's last failed console, because their only successful console was the 2600. But there's one interesting thing about this, and I don't know, something just seems to be missing on it. I just can't tell what that is. I know it's just bugging the hell out of me, trying to figure out what is missing on this console. What could it be? I don't know. Yeah, it's not broken. The Atari Jaguar never came with a dust cover. Because, let's review, shall we? Genesis. Dust cover. Super Nintendo. Dust cover. NES. Dust cover. And I'm sure that N64 could show you its dust cover too. So could that ColecoVision. And oh look, Atari never really had a dust cover, but they found out their own way to keep dust out. But yeah, for some reason they took it out of this one, which I don't understand that, but what you can do. Just put a piece of paper or cardboard over it. Yeah, it's a little, more, but yeah. Here's an interesting fact. Oh, by the way, since this is so new, I only have one game for it, and that's Wolfenstein 3D, which, I mean, that's not bad, because this is probably the best version of Wolfenstein you can get. But say you have this, hooked up and everything in, your living room, and, your cat walks over the power button. It won't turn on while a game is not in there. So that's pretty nice design, right? That's probably the best feature I like out of it. But being released in 1993, it was the first 64-bit console. Being in the age of 16-bit, and even the advertising said, do the math, which the graphics card was a 32-bit graphics card, and the sound card was 32-bit, which added up to 64. So that was their do the math, I guess. But that also made this, extremely hard to program for. So no one ever took advantage of the full capability that this had. But yeah. Now, when I first looked at it, ow, nice everything. This thing hurts. It's pointy everywhere. I just hurt my Jaguar hurt me. I can tell my friends I got attacked by a Jaguar. I only thought it had an RF output when I first looked at it. I'm like, you're telling me in '93 there's no AV? But if you look over here, it says AV, and it just has these loose ends on it, which I look, that there are AV cables that you just put it at the end of there, which oakley dokley, if you want to do that. That's, yeah. Which another part of this weird console was its weird controller, which I do have a question. Why is this necessary? Why is the number pad in 1993 necessary? I mean, really? I would really like to know that. But overall, I mean, the controller was not, for '93, was not really that bad. I mean, maybe a little flimsy would be the best term, because, I mean, yeah. But, I mean, for playing Wolfenstein, I mean, it works fine, and it feels kind of good in the hand, too. And, they have, like, it has ridges right here where, your fingers would be, so it's, but this would really, but if they added some trigger assist, that would really have been a good, but yeah, I mean, this was definitely a weird controller, and, like in the old days, they had, cutouts so you can put in here so it tell you what each button does, and yeah, I don't know why they thought they'd bring that back, but yeah, but yeah, so that's the Atari Jaguar. They also made a disc system for this, which I don't have one because I don't want to spend $200. And yes, the disc system costs $200 on eBay now. Well, the last one I saw on eBay. But yeah, and oh, and like it goes like right here, and like the top lifts up, and it sort of looks like a toilet if you saw it all together, which I thought that kind of looked funny. But so yeah, that's my Jaguar review. Oh, and that's the other thing. Did they really need to put a handle on here? I mean, was anyone really dying for them to put a handle on? Wow, my hands are sweaty, aren't they? See my handprint. They couldn't, use the top to, I don't know, put maybe an end label. End label. Because end label. And end label. And end label. So, I don't know. Maybe they weren't, looking at the other consoles that was out there to, gee, maybe we should put end labels. Nah. Only all the cartridges on the market now have end labels, so we don't need them. But that's my review of this. Stay tuned, because as you saw, I still have 3 more game consoles over there. My camera would focus. I have a Dreamcast, GameCube, N64, and I have a PS2 Fatty over there to review. So, yes, stay tuned for those.